Still here. I'm Captain Dead Dad, still joined by Tiger. We're gonna get in here, hopefully as
Yep.
fast as possible. Let's see who got on pole.
Yep. They just came out of White's corner right there. Right now, it's Shake and Bake leading, a really good lead over second place back there, AK, and I think that's TGS Predators in third. So a very unlikely top three, especially with Shake and Bake keeping that momentum from Talladega. He is leading. He has a nice lead heading into Quebec corner.
Yeah, GU is actually the guy in second with TGS in third. GMS is all in the top three. I think Delator has just passed Ghost Killer for the fourth spot as they go into the hairpin, which I'm not going to know because I already forgot it.
One of you are gonna have to call it for a moment. I'm not in yet. Alright, I'm in now. Yep. Shake and Bake still currently leading the race. I mean, it wasn't to be surprised. Shake and Bake was a pretty good driver in the Truck Series last year. He managed to snag out a championship, and I can't remember if we even did Canadian Tire. I can't remember exactly how he did, but he's found, or he's rather proven himself to be a pretty decent road course racer these days, and honestly, it's not really super surprising. He's pretty good all around.
Yeah, but he is under fire from GU right behind him, and GU, he did not make the playoffs this season, but you have to believe that's put a little fire under him, that he really wants to show that he would have belonged in these playoffs if he had a little better luck. He is still chasing that 2's GMS 1-2. Behind them, it's actually 1-2-3 GMS. Delator is still in hot pursuit, though. One of the fast guys at the road courses.
AK unleaded, or unleaded. Went a little bit wide there in turns two, maybe got on two tires as he's trying to pressure Ghost Killer as they go down into the two hairpins again, down to on two tires. There, AK looked like he was on two tires, lost the back end of the car. He's not going to get the pass done here.
Yeah, I mean, Delator's really just trying to work his way up through the field right now. I think he's currently sitting back there in fourth behind GU, short a couple of that 5-6 car lengths. I mean, again, Delator's another person to really watch out here at road courses. I mean, he's proven himself to be just good at them overall, mainly with the strategy. We saw exactly how he did at Watkins Glen just a few races ago, managing to pull out a third.
While you were talking about that, we saw in turn 7 that the 3 truck had wrecked it. Ty Racing, a lot of damage on the front end. He is going to be looking for some repairs here soon for pit stops. But it's still Shake and Bake leading. Second place GU, third place TGS. Delator gaining a little bit on TGS. And behind him, it looks like that might be the 16 of AK Unleaded in hot pursuit.
Yeah, everyone pretty spread out. There's a pretty big hack there in the battle. As AK goes a little bit wide, MBD's going to have a great opportunity here to close up. As we're on board, I'm on board with Jason Cole, watching MBD, looking if he can try to make the pass. It's a pretty good run, he goes a bit wide. Not able to dive it up the inside as AK goes a bit wide. MBD's going to pass him. Ghost Killer might have a shot here down the Amari Andretti set trigger.
Yep, surprisingly there, AK is going to end up overshooting, I believe that is Moss Corner, or whatever it is. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, he's going to end up overshooting that turn right there, and it's going to lose him not only a spot to MBD, but close up his main competitor for the Truck Series Championship and have him placed right behind him, Ghost Killer.
The lead is still staying about the same for Shake and Bake, maybe pulling away from the guys behind him. Right now you see that 3 truck getting those repairs in, and now he's going to probably go a lap down to Shake and Bake. But we cycle through the field for a little bit of a battle. It is crazy back here with AK Unleaded, Ghost Killer, the 87 of Skeptic. A lot of playoff guys right here going down into the corner, and this is just crazy. If there's a wreck, somebody loses playoff points, it's going to be a bad day for them.
Yeah, these guys, as Ghost guys goes a bit wide, he's probably going to lose his few spots there and lose it to one and only Nate. Don't think he's going to lose it there, but AK Unleaded, trying to come back at MBD after overshooting the corner. see how these guys are struggling pretty early in the races. Skeptic goes pretty loose. It's loose and has to cut the corner.
I mean, honestly, it's probably the best thing to do is to make these mistakes early on. I mean, it's only stage 1 out of a 64-lap race, so they've got plenty of time to make their mistakes and then, fix up their truck to get back to where they were. And Cam Letton seems to have finally got himself correct, kind of, as we see him pull through the grass there for a moment.
It's about 20 car lengths from the 2 to the front of the 24 back there, or 23, whatever GU is. He is still pulling away. He's looking like he's going to have this stage in the bag, stage 1. Going back through the field, still trying to find something out here. It looks like most of the field is pretty spread out, Tiger.
Yeah. 3-car battle here for, can't really tell where because no leaderboard, but I think the one and only Skeptic and Ahak pretty close together up ahead of the road is Jason Cole and Ghost Killer right now. All battling as they're side by side, Ghost Killer and Jason Cole, as well as the one and only and Skeptic as they go down in to maybe Moss Corner or that corner, I don't know. But they're still side by side, Skeptic is.
Yeah.
One and only tries to cross over, but is not able to.
Surprisingly, the one and only, a pretty new name in the Truck Series. I mean, this is his second race after having his debut at Talladega and actually doing pretty solid. I believe he got not a runner-up, but a top 5 finish there. And being that he's running in the top 10 here today at Canadian Tire, it really shows a lot of promise. I mean, he's one of the few free agents that decided, hey, I'm going to stick around and try and build up a sort of career with this thing. And I mean, it's worked out great for him, honestly. So I'm actually pretty proud of him.
Yeah, and I do want to mention that only the top 5 will get stage points, very important stage points for this playoffs and moving on to the round 2, round of 7. So a lot of important stuff going on here just for stage 1 and get yourself in position to get in the top 5.
Yeah, 14 to go in stage 1. I believe it's another 100% race these guys are doing. The one and only Skeptic are still fighting for that position as they go down to a Moss Corner. Ghost Killer pitted quite early in the stage, maybe had some damage that he had to fix. As the one and only Punt Skeptic, he goes into the wall as they're going to be side by side going to the Andretti straightaway.
Yeah, no, that's going to be kind of bad for Skeptic, being that I believe he's not the furthest up there for the Truck Series playoffs. That's gonna hurt him a little bit, but it does look like the one and only dropped back behind him. I think he realized his mistake there.
Leader to pit road.
Yep, I think the one and only might have broke just a little bit too early for, or a little bit too late for Skeptic's liking. See a lot more people come down into pit road right now.
A lot of GMS trucks. It might be the entire lead pack. Everyone on the lead lap coming down to get the tires, probably really low on those tires, and to get that Sunoco fuel into the race truck. See if Shake and Bake is able to hold his lead coming out of pit road. Definitely didn't speed. He was very cautious on entry. There he goes. He's away, and away he is. There's nobody behind him. Maybe even more of a gap for Shake and Bake coming out of pit road. Going back, it looks like it's going to be GU still second, TGS Predators third, and Daltor gained a lot on pit entry. He is right on the bumper of TGS Predators.
Yeah, pit entry is going to be quite crucial, I think, for this race, as they still have to make one more stop. There was 13 to go in the stage, and MBT had 7 laps on fuel remaining. His tires were all, I believe, over 45%, so I don't think tires are going to matter that much. Daltor in fourth, trying to close down TGS. Makes up a lot of time there to Moss and play with that corner.
Daltor, honestly, like I said a few laps ago, Daltor is definitely not one to just not look at during road course races. He's proven himself to be good on pit strategy, and it is kind of surprising to hear that everybody came to pit with about 30 to 40% tires. I mean, you'd think you'd push it as far as you can really go, especially if you're up there in that lead pack. Or are they trying to turn it into a two-stop strategy instead of just one through the middle in which you're running slower lap times but staying out longer?
Yeah, right now the battle is on for third. Dalator has caught TGS Predators. He is there. He's about 5 car lengths from the back of TGS going into turn 1. Heading uphill into turn 2 underneath the bridge. Now deep on the brakes, downhill. Chance to wheel hop, nobody does. TGS Predators able to maintain that cushion. Now about 6 car lengths over the 17th Dalator.
You can see Dalator really gains a lot on entry, but maybe losing a little bit of time off the exit. What I was gonna say, I just lost my thought. That's nice. Yeah, just gains a lot there. Going down straight away now.
Dalator, I mean, he's been doing pretty good. He's really good on entry, as you just said, Tiger, but coming out, it does seem like he loses a little bit of time to TGS Predators, and if Dalator can't get himself into shape, honestly, I don't see him getting past that 26 truck, or not 26. Is that 26? 23?
Yep.
26? Whatever.
26.
26 truck. I don't see him really getting past the 26 truck if he can't figure out his exit, as you see him pull through the grass just a little bit coming up to the front stretch.
Early on, you have to believe that Riley and Joker are gritting ear to ear right now, seeing all 3 of their GMS trucks up 1, 2, 3 ahead of some heavy hitter names of Dalator, Ghost Killer. I mean, it's really impressive what they've been able to do, and I didn't really see it coming, but these GMS trucks have come to play here this Wednesday night.
Yeah, and just as easy as you can gap someone or make up the time, you can lose it all with just one mistake. Overshooting turns 2 or 5 and 6 doesn't look like. Oh, Dalator and TGS saw 2 tires on my screen. Might have been lag. But, yeah.
Yeah, we can't really tell for certain. Hopefully with the new game coming out, the online physics, if there even is an online in the first place, are a little bit better. But that's just yet to see. Hopefully we'll see more coming up there. But, you know, Dalator is still going to continue to sit behind that 26 truck. It doesn't look like the 26 has really been able to pull away that much, as we see both of them coming up on what looks to be the 16 of AK Unleaded right now. There's all of them coming up towards the front stretch once more.
Yeah, just a little reference of where Shake and Bake is. He's in turn 1 right now. They are just exiting turn 10, that second pack. But don't look now, that second pack has caught up to GU. Dalator and TGS racing so hard against one another that they have actually brought themselves up to this 23, and they are going to continue making that ground up in Clayton Corner. We're going to have to see what they do in Quebec Corner, because we've seen that Dalator is really fast at this little section of the racetrack.
You can see Dalator again so late on the brakes or lifting. Maybe TGS is lifting a bit early than what Dalator is, but you can see he takes such a tight line through turns 3. That's not turns 3. You can see as TGS goes a bit wide there, maybe trying to get the run. There's a spinner. I think that's Kush.
Yep, that is Kush Knight around as the 16 truck joins him as well. Just barely caught that off the corner of the screen. The 23, 26, and 17 are going to continue to drive off, but I'm not sure exactly how many were stuck back there in that little incident at the, I guess it's a hairpin, I'd assume. But yeah, the Dalator and the 26 have both caught up pretty easily up to GU, despite the fact that they're battling just a little bit.
Yeah, that battle for second is heating up, but this battle for 5th, final spot for points that will pay out to the top 5 is on between AK Unleaded after his mistake. Jason Cole, he's in the playoffs. Remember that. AK loose out of turn 10, nailed the wall. And here comes the 98 of Ghost Killer to his outside. We thought these two would be racing for the lead, but right now they're racing for 6th.
AK's going to go wide again here. He's been making at least, I think he's made 3 mistakes in the last lap or so. But he spun out in Quebec Corner. Then he did it again on the front stretch and loose, a little bit wide there for turns 2. Ghost now setting his sights on Jason Polis. he's going to be too far back this time to make a move.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of surprising to see mistakes coming out of AK Unleaded. He's not really a driver that's constantly out there with mistakes, but we're seeing probably the worst, or at least hopefully the worst, if you're our Bales anyway. Hopefully the worst you're going to see out of him for the entire playoffs, because if AK continues to make mistakes like this, he's going to find himself in 10th place and then soon knocked out of the playoffs. I mean, he said it before, he's definitely here to win the championship as the 98 comes down into the pits.
Yep, Ghost Kill after pitting early that first stint. He's going to pit early the second stint. I think this is the last pit stop of stage 1 for these guys, 100% race. But going back to AK Unleaded, he is a native Canadian. He really wants to do well here, not just for the playoffs, but because this is his home track, home country. So he is really going to try to do that, but driving right off the racetrack again, going to lose a lot of time. The back bumper of Jason Cole going through that corner.
We got a spinner. That was GU who spun it coming into the Corvette and lost the corner. Lost it off that left-hander, which I think we'll see a little bit more tonight as the race goes on.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully GU can probably try and fix himself as, again, 16 of AK Unleaded goes a little bit wide coming up through Moss. On exit, he's going to go through the grass a little bit, but it does look like he sits, I believe that is either 4th or 5th. I could be wrong, though, as the 87 of Skeptic seems to be pulling up on it a little bit, and the 8 of Jason Cole seems to have all but driven away from both of them.
Yeah, really impressive what we've seen from Jason Cole already. I mean, we really haven't seen this kind of speed. Maybe I haven't been paying attention, but I haven't been seeing that speed at Watkins Glen or Charlotte Roval from the 8 truck. And he's come to play today. He's really trying to make his presence known here in the playoffs.
Yeah, AK, how you were saying that AK is solo again on the front stretch. Skeptic goes past him. I think Ghost pitted a little bit early here in this stage. Maybe he's going to try to pit early, 3 to go or something, and then gain track position like that. But yeah, he did pit a little bit early.
I don't really know. I mean, pitting with 3 laps to go is a valid strategy. I mean, it really helps. I'm not sure what exactly the wear setting is on, but if you can pit and save your tires and save enough fuel and not go a lap down, you're going to find yourself up towards the front again. And that can easily turn your entire race around, especially if you can keep that track position. But the only thing against pitting with 3 to go is that if the leader catches up to you, you're kind of screwed if he puts you a lap down, unless he's your teammate and backs off and gives you a little bit of space. But I doubt we're really going to see that happen.
Yeah, we've seen most of the leaders hit pit road now. The 16, 87 all coming down as well, all in the lead lap. I'm sure that 16 is going to be looking for a little bit of damage repair. And trying to find the 2, see where he is on the racetrack. Is he down pit road as well? Yeah, he's just coming off. So he is going to be powering down into Clayton's corner, and there's nobody behind him. If you thought that his advantage was crazy at the last pit stop, you should see it this time. He has about 40 car lengths over whoever is behind him.
Yeah, they had only 1 lap to the good on fuel. Like I said, tires are not going to matter. Only 30% was the lowest tire for MBD there. As Shake has a massive advantage. I think something is happening. Either everyone's making mistakes or he's just running perfect.
I feel like it's probably a combination of both, honestly. Shake and Bake has been putting down presumably consistent times and hasn't really driven off into the grass at just random locations. And I mean, this is how the game repays you, by sticking you miles ahead, not miles, but seconds ahead of everybody else. And honestly, I wouldn't really be too surprised if he gets the win here today.
He is looking really, really quick. And right now, your top 5 running it is going to be obviously Shake with a huge lead, and then you got him leading over his GMS teammate in TGS Predators. Third place is going to be Dalator. Fourth, GU after a mistake a couple laps ago. And fifth is actually MBD got dropped, so a solid day for him as he's trying to get some playoff points himself.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much action on the track, but Ghost Killer and AHAC are right now almost side by side. So they're going down the front stretch at the current moment. Not really much happening on track other than that, though.
Yeah, honestly, they've spread out pretty decently, and I mean, that's just how it is at road courses. Once you find yourself alone and by yourself, you're gonna just not really have a whole lot of racing unless someone makes a mistake. I mean, hopefully we can see something interesting happen coming up into stage 2 with I'm not sure how many laps to go.
Yeah, Tiger, do you have a lap counter?
Yeah, I got one. They have 4 to go, I think, coming this time.
Okay. Alright, so 4 to go in stage 1. This is going to be one with a lot of attrition required. I mean, you've got to have good conditioning for this one. This is a 100% race, just like we had at Watkins Glen. These drivers are going to be getting pretty wary, especially if you've been putting in practice laps over the last week at Canadian Tire. But right now, I'm looking for a battle. The closest one we have is Dalator and GU. GU has closed back up to Dalator, heading down Clayton Corner, turn 2 here. He's going to try to arc it back to the left. Dalator does a good job of it too, heading into Quebec Corner. Dalator still with about a 4 truck length lead.
Yeah, he goes a bit wide there. It's going to allow GU to close in. The gap is a lot closer than it was when they came out of pit road. Dalator maybe a bit wide there, but GU does not dive it down like there for the pass.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly kind of surprising, as a lot of Hennessy or HPRL followers and people in Hennessy as well will realize that Dalator and GU don't exactly have the greatest of histories. I mean, this dates way back to last season and probably even a season before that. I mean, they were taking each other out at Chicagoland the entire time, and to see the level of respect between these two drivers get a little bit higher and not really messing with each other's races, it's honestly kind of promising.
I'm glad you brought that up, Captain, because these two really do not like each other. I imagine they put that aside, but they did cost each other, both guys cost each other mutually a shot at that Season 2 Truck Series Championship. And I think they both kind of took a step back and said, you know what? We need to drive a little bit cleaner if we want to get a title. And right now it's Dalator with the chance to get the title, GU not in the playoffs. So we'll have to see how he handles being around Dalator here late in Stage 1.
Yeah, this time GU's a lot closer to go into the hairpins, which I'll call the hairpins. Yeah, just a lot of history, but definitely not taking it out on each other for this race.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really too surprised. Dalator definitely has his reasons, and, well, GU has his own reasons as well. We're not really supposed to pick sides, but I'm kind of leaning towards GU's reasoning against Tate and Dalator. I mean, Dalator hasn't really proven itself to be the cleanest racer, but then again, you can't really get anything done in Hennessy if you're not, or if you're just 100% clean. You need to get your hands dirty every now and then.
Yeah, he definitely approached it, and we talked to him on Controlled Chaos. He said that the whole plan, the mentality behind his race style is not going to change this playoffs. He isn't going to be wrecking people, but he's definitely going to still be the aggressive Dalator we've seen week in and week out for the last 17 weeks here, or something like that. Not 17, 12 weeks here on the Hennessy Performance Racing League channel. So don't expect anything different from Dalator. He's still going to be aggressive.
Yeah, again, these guys are getting close down into the hairpins. GU is right on the back bumper. He's going to maybe try to get a run on him down the Andretti straightaway. See if he can do anything.
Yeah, I mean, GU has kept that little gap between himself and Daltor pretty consistent. Again, I'm really surprised and kind of impressed that GU has managed to hold himself back from giving Delator a bit of a bumper going into either the hairpins or coming up through the S's here as GU goes way inside. Delator going a little bit wide. He's going to get alongside, but Delator's still going to have the inside line. He's going to manage to pull himself back up in front of GU, but that gap has definitely closed a little bit more.
Yeah, and this is the final lap of Stage 1. Shake and Bake obviously going to win, so we're going to stay with the battle here between Delator and GU. GU seems to be a little bit faster. We've seen him the entire way around this racetrack, and he seems to be closing in on that 17, racing very cleanly, going down Clayton Corner. And into Quebec Corner, it doesn't look like he's going to make any lunges. He's actually going to try the outside on Delator.
Yeah, GU's the last 2 laps been trying. Oh, it's a bit loose there. Dowdy's going to have a shot at that 3rd position now, but last 2 laps in turn 3, you can see him taking a wider line than Delator and then trying to get the run off the corner so he can maybe try something into the hairpin.
Yeah, I mean, sadly it didn't work that time going up through, I think it was Quebec, but it didn't really work that time. GU actually got a little bit loose, had to let off the gas. Delator's actually managed to pull away pretty easily. I doubt we'll see a move from GU coming up into the S's as he's pretty far back, honestly. But looks like Delator is going to have the upper hand as we come onto the final turn, turn 10 onto the front stretch.
Stage winner, GMS Zone Shake and Bake. And second, TGS Predators. Third is going to go to Delator. Fourth is going to be GU. And fifth is going to be MBDU got dropped. And that is a spread of, it looks like, 7 full seconds between fourth and fifth. So that was pretty crazy. I'm wondering, is strategy going to become a thing? Because it looks like pit stops are definitely a thing in this race. Green flag pit stops are going to be a common thread throughout the entire duration of this 100%er.
Yeah, I believe they have to make 2 pit stops in this next stage, so it's the exact same as the first 17 laps, is from what I'm seeing. And that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're still going to see the same amount of pit stops, and again, it kind of surprised me a little bit that they're taking 2 pit stops. I mean, do they even have the ability to only take 1? And if they can, is it really that not worth it?
Oh, wow, a little shake-up in the order. Coming to the green flag for Stage 2, it's going to be Jason Cole. I don't know if he missed pit road or what happened, but he's going to lead them off to the green with Shake and Bake to the inside going into turn 1. Shake and Bake is going to be able to clear. The battle right now is for third. It is Delator on the outside of TGS Predators. Down into Clayton Corner. They are side by side still back here from second on back. And Shake and Bake just trying to pull away going through Quebec.
Oh, they're 3 wide. They're all running into each other there. They're still 3 wide coming out of the corner. AK Unleaded didn't move through there. He's up to 4. As well as NBD and Delator. GU. Oh, wait, that was GU that I was on board with. My bad. They have the same truck scheme, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're still right up next to each other. I mean, this is the fighting that we really want to see. Shake and Bake's managed to pull himself up into a nice steady first place. Delator falling closely behind. MBD still holding on to third. GU still finding himself in fourth place, and I believe that is the 87 of Skeptic Whitey rounding out the top 5. It looks like TGS is going to try and make a pass on him coming up in through the S's.
Through the S's, White's corner. It's going to be Shake and Bake to lead lap 1 here in Stage 2. But now we have a couple of guys. Oh, somebody loose back there in the middle of the pack. Who was that? That was GU. What a save. He is going to save it. He is going to fall a bunch of positions, about 3 positions back here. But a great save from him. But you have to be wondering, now with the 17 in close shot of the 2, is there anything he can learn? We know that Delator is a student of the game. Is there anything he can find from that 2 that will make him faster.
It's going to be hard to catch him for sure, but if NBD right on his heels, which he's got to be careful about, at this point for Delator, he needs to just try learning Shake's line, just try and replicate that line. NBD tries to make a move down the inside.
And definitely Delator needs to learn from the best right now in front of him, that is Shake and Bake, to try and fend off NBD. I mean, Delator, again, he's just really known mainly for his strategy at road courses. He's somewhat consistent, but he just doesn't have the greatest of lines as we see him go a little bit wide here. NBD going to be able to get alongside him for a moment, have probably a bit of run coming up through the S's. NBD's going to look to try and cross over and take the inside from him. Going to get alongside Delator, but it looks like, actually does look like he's going to remain for a moment.
Yep. Down into turn 1, these two are going to have to figure it out because Shake and Bake is pulling away like we saw in stage 1. This 2 has a different kind of engine under it. GMS brought a good one, and he is still about 14 truck lengths ahead of Delator heading into Quebec corner.
Yeah, closest battle on track seems to be Delator and NBD, as I think he lost a bit. Now we have maybe a 3-4 car battle, starting with Delator down to TGS. All quite close as TGS is going to lunge it down the inside. I'm skeptic to see if he can make the pass. Yes, he does.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising that these 4 cars have managed to stay pretty close to each other. I mean, like Big Jim stated, Shake and Bake is just kind of driven away, almost as if he has just a much more powerful engine. And it's not really too surprising, as I kind of messed up saying powerful there, but whatever. But yeah, no, it's still going to continue to be Shake and Bake leading. Delator second, NBD still holding on to third, but definitely looking to try and take away that position from Delator.
The 2 is off the pace. He got really loose coming out of White's corner. That's going to cost him the lead. Give it to Delator with a lap led in this race. I think that might be a point. I'm not 100% sure, but he's the first one to lead a lap other than Shake and Bake. Shake has some work to do. He lost 4 positions right there, 3 positions, excuse me, and he is going to be looking for it all right back in the next coming laps. He's still got them in his sights.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. One mistake can completely ruin your race. Not really going to ruin Shake's race for the time being, but now these guys know that Shake is not perfect. He can still make mistakes on this track. And for Delator, this would be very huge. And look at NBD in second. What if he could win and advance himself into the next round?
I mean, rather scarily as we see Shake get a little bit loose coming out of Moss there for a moment. He's going to drop back to, I believe, that is 6th place. Delator is going to continue to hold on to the lead. NBD still holding on to second, but there is a good bit of movement back here. TGS has managed to pull himself away, but the 87, 23, and the 98 are all next to each other. The 87 of Skeptic goes wide coming up into the S's. 98 going to take that position away. 23 is going to hold on to 4th place coming out of the S's. 98 just behind him, and 87 dropped back to, I believe, 7th.
I tell you what, gentlemen, I'm still shook over the 2's consecutive mistakes on that lap. I don't know if he loosened up that truck a little bit, but he got loose coming out of White's corner 2 laps ago, and then he got really, really loose coming out of Moss's corner. And I just have to be wondering, did he do something to that truck that is not really suiting him, because he's a really fast truck. He's just really going to have to work on the loose off.
Yeah, I assume he's running a slider 9, because that's pretty much you have to run on a road course like this. I'd imagine he loosened it up. You can see he's got a lot of work to do. Those top 3 are now all together. TGS is caught up.
Yeah, I mean, TGS has been running some pretty consistent laps, a little bit more consistent than his teammate, the 2, as of the last couple of laps, who's managed to find himself, I believe that is in 7th, or not 7th, 6th. Skeptic trip back, honestly, pretty far, but yeah, TGS, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him take the lead away from both NBD and Delator, as we see MBD and Dalator get a little bit together coming up through the S's, and as we just saw for a moment there, the 16 of AK unleaded coming out of the pits.
Yeah, Captain, I'll tell you what right now, that 2, when he was able to kind of yard the field, doesn't look like the 17's able to do the same. It is a train up here, the 17, the 00, the 26, 23. They're all in line here, still in shot of leading a lap here at Canadian Tire. Right now, Dalator showing how it's done.
Yeah, all 3. One of them makes a mistake, and they will not even be in the top 3, maybe not even top 5. As GU now closing in, and Ghost Killer in the background. TGS makes a move on MBD. MBD's going to try to cross over, maybe. No, he sticks around the outside, keeps his spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely kind of surprising that Dalator is kind of holding up the field just a little bit. I mean, even Shake and Bake has kind of managed to bring himself back into that lead pack. Well, not really, but he's definitely still within, you know, a stage distance of Dalator, and right there looking for his lead once more. But it is, again, surprising that Dalator is just holding them up this much.
And as they get held up, you can see that it's becoming not just a 3-truck battle, it's about to become a 7-truck battle, or 6-truck. I'm not 100% sure, but the 2 of Shake and Bake is still attached to this top group. Ghostkill has also made an appearance. You see him right there in that bright yellow truck for ThorSport. He's making an appearance for the first time. Right now, he's running 5th.
Yeah, these top 4, excluding GU, as he gets a little bit loose off the corner, TGS I think is going to be able to pass him. But these top 3 now, with I think a lot of guys in this league would consider surprise winners, guys you don't really want to win. That could potentially upset these guys. Dalator gets a little loose. MBD to the lead.
We're going to see MBD make a bit of a push on Dalator. We saw him knocking on his bumper all throughout Moss, and it looks like Dalator just ended up getting loose coming off the turn. He's going to drop back to almost a 4th place. GU on his outside coming up into the S's. Dalator is going to have the preferred line here, but NBD is going to continue to lead as, you know, again, TGS Predators pulling up in 2nd. Dalator manages to hold on to 3rd as, well, actually all of them come down to pit. NBD, TGS, Dalator, GU.
Yep, the entire front pack that we were just talking about down to pit road. I don't know if that gives the lead over to the 4, because if it doesn't, that's going to be a lap led for MBD. Maybe one of you can confirm that. He has a stream up. They have passed the start-finish line.
I do believe the 4 is a lap down.
Okay, so MBD does lead a lap. So I believe that will help him for points. And we'll have to see where they come out of pit road. 00 obviously taking 4 tires. Everyone taking 4 tires down here. And a full thing of fuel. MBD is out and away. The 26 is out. He's going to beat the 17 off for 2nd. Going to have to file in single file, really narrow pit exit right there. It's going to be TGS in 2nd, but MBD, what a pit stop from those guys, because they really paid off right there. He got about 5 extra car lengths over the 26 and that pack behind him as they head through Quebec corner.
Maybe that was entry, maybe that was exit, maybe it was a 15.6 stop from NBD. As everyone seems to have spread out, but Shake seems like his car's improved a bit. He's closing in on GU, and he's going to make the pass going to the hairpin.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what a good pit stop can do for your entire race. I mean, we saw MBD go from a few car lengths ahead of TGS to now roughly 10, and I mean, that could just be the deciding factor for the stage, is how these drivers get in and out of pit road and what times they get. And I mean, that's probably, I mean, that's, damage is a huge reason and all that too.
Yep, and through White's corner. I want to see what our lap count is looking like, how many to go. Give me 1 second here as MBD crosses the line. There are 9 laps remaining in stage 2, and MBD really showing the speed. I mean, this is kind of the speed we saw out of the 2 early on. He's starting to gap TGS Predators behind him, and what would it mean for MBD if he was able to get the win tonight?
Again, it would be as much of a shock as it was when he won at Auto Club. Don't look back now, but Shake is starting to look like his truck is becoming a little bit more alive than it was on the last stint. He's passed G, and he's gapped Ghost Killer, as he's going to almost punt Dalator, putting the pressure on him now as he goes down the Andretti straight.
Yeah, it does look like Shake and Bake fixed whatever issues he had with his truck in the first few laps of this race, finding himself only a few lengths behind Dalator, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes away third place from Dalator coming up into the S's. MVDs can continue to hold on the lead and probably growing it ever so slightly over TGS, and Ghost Killer is going to continue just barely to hold on to fifth. I'm not exactly 100% certain what happened to GU, but he is way back there just coming into the S's now.
00 made a mistake right there in White's corner, went too wide. Here comes TGS for the lead. He's going to look to the inside in turn 1, and don't look now, but the 17 and the 2, they are starting to make their way back up to MBD as well. Going down into the second corner, into that carousel. It looks like MBD is going to hold off for now, but he has the 26 all over him going through Quebec corner.
Nice defending from NBD so far in this race, as TGS now gets a huge run out of the corner. Maybe a bit too wide. They're still side by side. But they are side by side. Let's see what NBD's been able to do a little bit later on the brakes there. We've seen this happen before. NBD, they're still side by side down the interstate.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, we've got two battles going on within about 10 truck lengths of each other. NBD and TGS fighting for first place, and Dalator and Shake and Bake fighting over third with a lap car of QSA just in front of him. And, I mean, it's definitely interesting as TGS takes the lead. Shake and Bake managing to win the battle over Dalator, taking over third. TGS still going to have lead coming up onto the front stretch. Going to give QSA a little bump. QSA needs to get out of the way.
Yeah, the 15 was slow coming into White's car. He's actually in the way. It's going to allow the 00 to get here. I'm not sure what in the world is happening, but they are 3 wide with a lap car going down into Clayton corner. What in the world is happening? They're still 3 wide. 3 wide coming out of turn 2. Still 3 wide. What in the world is happening, Tiger?
Dalator bumps Shake off the road. There's going to be 3 wide, and there's still 3 wide. Shake loses a lot of time. Ghost is now in fourth, just behind his battle, waiting to pick up the scraps. NBD to the lead again. Dalator the second. Shake is going to have to do all the work again. NBD goes wide. And TGS is going to get the inside. NBD might get the lead down the entrance straight.
That's definitely a huge turn of events for not only the 17, but also the 00 and the 2. That 15 of QSA, a bit of a weapon going up through there those last few turns. And honestly, it's kind of surprising to see Dalator back up leading the race. As we see the 98 make a bit of a move going into the S's. Gonna give Dalator a bump on the inside. Let's see if he tries to make a move on him coming up to the final turn.
It is a Chevy versus Ford battle here at the Chevrolet Silverado 250. But don't look now. The regular season champion has arrived. The 98 of Ghost Kill is all over the bumper of MBD. Does he want to take it 3 wide in Clayton corner? We've seen it already. He's going to go through the middle. But now he's going to try to get to the inside, the left side of the 17 and make that move going up through turn 3. Tiger, what in the world are you seeing from these two behind MBD?
I mean, they are fighting fiercely, but they gotta get a move on. MBD's gonna drop them quickly if they don't. And Shake and Bake is now in the battle. He got punted off by Dalator. Is he gonna maybe retaliate? Probably not, but maybe a little bit of a bump here from Shake, possibly.
I mean, I doubt we're going to see much of retaliation from Shake and Bake. I do not believe he is that type of driver. Unlike a certain driver of the 2 truck last season, who I'm not going to name, I mean, Shake and Bake's a lot cleaner and a lot faster than Dalator. And honestly, if he can get back, or if he can get by the 17 and 98, we could probably see him put up a fight with the NBD as we see Shake and Bake move up into third. But Dalator is going to have a bit of an inside line coming up to that final turn.
3 Chevys and 2 Fords up here in this top pack of 5. That's your battle for the lead. And right now, Ghostkilla is in pursuit of MBD going into turn 1. MBD a little bit wide. Could Ghost make any time up there? He's going to go a little bit wide on exit. Now down into Clayton corner. Down in this wide sweep. The 2 did not overjump that corner. I thought he did, but he didn't. He's going to actually look to the inside of Ghostkilla.
Yeah, just keep in mind they still have a pit stop to go, so another opportunity for a mistake from all of these trucks. We got Chevys 1, 3, and 5, and the Fords 2 and 4. The 3 guys up almost side by side, as MBD has done a great job defending so far. We'll see how Shake and Bake will get past him here.
Yeah, honestly, MBD has done pretty good at holding on to first place. It does look like Ghostkilla has dropped back just a little bit, but I mean, he's got Shake and Bake to contend with, so he can't really drop back super far. I mean, Ghostkilla is pretty much seen as the lead Ford truck driver, and seeing him in second place behind a Chevy, nonetheless, is definitely hurting a little bit. I'm sure Mayhem is watching right now as we see both Dalator and Ghostkilla come down in the pits. The Chevys stay out 1, 2, 3.
Yep, diverse strategy here. The Fords hit pit road. The Chevys stay out a lap. We've seen this from Ghostkilla already in stage 1. He comes down a little bit earlier. So we'll have to see if those tires pay off at all. Coming down the stretch with I don't know how many laps to go. And now the question is also, let's pan back over to the 00. He's on 1 lap of fuel. Will he be able to make it around to the pit road without starting to sputter, Tiger?
Well, he goes a bit wide there, and now that's going to allow Shake and Bake to take a provisional lead of the race. We'll still have to see where they come out of pit stops. It all matters on the entry, as Dalator made a lot of time up on Ghost through the entry there. I'm not sure how his exit is. He's going to come up pretty far behind the Ghost, actually. So maybe pit stop, really letting him down.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of surprising to see that Dalator kind of faltered a little bit coming out on pit stop. I mean, maybe he had a little bit of damage, and it actually does look like NBD is just barely going to make it to pits with his 1 lap of fuel. Shake and Bake still leading right now, with NBD holding on to second, and then TGS in third. I believe all of them are coming down this time.
Oh man, they pancake coming onto pit road right there. The 00 had to make it, and he makes the executive decision to pin the 26, who's trying to make a move down into the entry of pit road into the inside wall. Don't think any penalties will be handed out for that one, because at the end of the day, the 00 still had to make pit road. So the 26 and 00 down. Let's pan back over to Ghostkilla. He is now right there through the S's. Low lap traffic ahead. Taking the left. Down to the right and white's corner. And onto the front stretch. Now let's compare that to where the rest of the field is. MBD is out. Oh, this is going to be close. But it's going to be Ghostkilla who's able to retain the lead, going down into Clayton's corner underneath the bridge. Now can Ghostkilla be cold as ice here? If he can hold on to it, he will be stage 2 winner, and I believe this would actually, I mean, I won't say that it would lock him into the next round, but 29-point lead. It's going to be really nice to add another 5 onto it.
Yeah, that was a great call from Ghost. Dalator a little bit early. Oh, Shake spins it! Oh, he spins it out. He collects Dalator as well.
Oh.
Or it was on my screen. Dalator is now straight.
That's a little bit odd. I mean, it looks like both drivers have managed to keep it along pretty well still, especially after just spinning out. They're still within probably 10 trucks length of NBD, who's holding on to second. Ghostkilla is still holding on to first, and honestly, I don't see this little group catching up to Ghostkilla, especially if they got any damage from that little incident up in Moss as we come through the S's now. Shake and Bake trying to look to make a move on Dalator coming out.
We experienced full-on Illuminati there going down into Moss corner between the 2 and the 17. For some reason, the 17 was barrel rolling down there. He seems to be fine. he didn't need any emergency help, so God bless his soul. Shake and Bake's still looking to retain the track position he lost from the beginning of Stage 2 when he got really loose, but it's going to be really hard to go chase down Ghost Killer, who has about 8 truck lengths over the 00 of MBD for second.
I don't know what the lap counter is. I think we have 2:01 to go, but Delator's maybe looking on MBD. He might send it there. Not able to, but Shake and Bake makes up a lot of time. Delator's gonna maybe try going on the inside, but he's not able to make it past.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of surprising. You gotta imagine the level of restraint that Delator is having to use right now against MBD, because remember, MBD is kind of the reason he's dropped back into third place. He gave him a little bit of a bunt, or a bit of a punt, going up into Moss about 6-7 laps ago as Delator managed to get himself ahead in the S's. Nick gonna be stuck just behind MBD for now.
Yep. Ghost Killer crosses the line now, second place now. So that is a pretty good gap that Ghost Killer has. I'll give you the lap counter here right when MBD touches the line. This is actually the final lap of the stage, so Ghost Killer down in turn 2 for the final time in stage 2 is going to look for a commanding stage win and a little bit of a points buffer above that 29 points to get him into round of 7.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty important. Shake is going to go from the inside of MBT to the inside of Delator as they go down into the Moss corner. He's going to clear Delator. And can MBD make the pass for third? He's going to try to get around the outside. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to.
Yep, sadly it does look like MBD is going to falter just a little bit. We probably could see a move from either the 17 or the 00 coming up through the S's. I mean, both of them have proven that they're willing to do what they need to when it comes down to points. And all 3 of these trucks are in the playoffs as Delator goes a little bit inside, coming up to the S's, but doesn't really end up doing much. MBD is going to make a big shot to Delator, going to give him a nice quarter panel shot, and it looks like Delator is going to maybe remain in third. Yep, he's going to remain in third. MBD coming across fourth.
Yep, so Ghost Killer with the stage win. Nothing new there. Shake and Bake with second after a nice little comeback after his mistakes in stage 1. What?
Hold on. Shake did not get second. He's in fourth.
Oh.
I'm trying to see who's the stage winner.
Huh. You did get fourth. Is he a lap down?
No, I don't think so.
Hold on.
GU is in the lead. GU.
Wow.
This is a damn Matt Black situation.
Yeah, excuse me. GU getting the stage win. Second place went to Tiger. Did you catch that?
Second place was to TGS, and third was...
That was Ghost Killer. Okay, so Ghost, excuse me, he did not win the stage. Just a little strategy out of TGS and GU, the GMS boys, that got GU the stage win. That's going to actually be good for most people in the playoffs because, I mean, you want somebody that isn't in the playoffs to win those playoff points. But here we are. We're racking them up for stage 3, the final stage. It's going to be the 8 out front once again, and the 23 of GU on the inside going down into turn 1. A little crunching back there in the back. GU's going to give up the preferred line. A little contact between the 8 and the 23. That shoves the 23 out of the groove, and now Shake and Bake is going to look to the outside of his GMS teammate in Quebec corner.
Well, yeah, I thought that... Obviously, Shake's going to go a bit wide. He's going to lose a few positions. And even though we thought Ghost won stage 2, we know he has a really good car. Maybe even to... Oh, and he just spin it. Oh, no, I just put a commentator curse on him. But I thought he had... Maybe he has a truck to compete with Shake. Figured out and Freddy straight over.
Definitely a bit of a mess coming up into Moss, but it does look like GU is able to find himself back up front ahead of Jason Cole, who... Again, finds himself starting in the top 5. I'm not exactly sure where he finished, but good for him, honestly, especially if he can lead a lap. That'll be pretty big for him, as MBD Tries to look to make a bit of a move on the 8, coming up through the S's. Going to have the inside line coming out of turn 10 as Shake and Bake gets on the outside of the 8 truck, but I do believe he backs out of it.
And, oh, somebody hard in the wall in the back there. Who was that? Is that Delator? That might have been Skeptic Whitey or Ty Racing, but one of those black trucks hit the inside wall a ton there on the front stretch. Right now it's GU still with a nice lead. Battle for second is on. It's Shake and Bake looking to go 3 wide on Jason Cole and MBD.
Yeah, there's still 3 wide coming out of I think Clayton corner? No, Quebec corner, sorry. Oh! Jason Cole spins, he collects a few others. Doesn't they keep it going straight. Delator lunges it down the inside of MBD. A lot of action there going from Quebec corner to Moss.
Yeah, I mean, we've finally seen it happen as we saw the 16 there just coming out of Moss. Got sideways and managed to actually collect a couple of cars. He's going to find himself back in the back of this pack here. GU continues to hold on to the lead, but Jason Cole having dropped out. Shake and Bake in second. Delator third. MBD fourth. And once the camera pans to where I can actually see 5th place, as Shake and Bake makes a huge move coming up into the S's. Going to take over 1st place from GU. And it looks like Ghostkilla is holding on to 5th.
Yeah, Ghostkilla had a big moment himself. We forgot to mention that on the first lap. He really lost it going up into Moss Corner and lost all of these positions. Went back to 9th. But now here he is, a great rebound. He's up to 5th. And now the scary thing for the field is Shake and Bake has returned to his rightful spot in the lead. Shake and Bake out about 5 car lengths over. Looks like that might be the 17 of Delator in 2nd place.
Yep, Delator is in second. It's Ghost goes in between GQ and NBD. GQ, remember, is the teammate of Shake, so maybe he was giving him a little bit of slack, not really fighting him as hard as Ghost in 3rd. He looks like he has maybe the 2nd best, or even a truck to challenge Shake down. Here we go.
Yeah, I do believe GU there might have given up that position to Shake and Bake, knowing that Shake is so much faster and in the playoffs. Delator was going to find himself in second as a GU kind of faltered a good bit, dropping back in behind Ghostkilla, finding himself in 4th place. Jason Cole still holding on to a top 5 after having passed the 00 of NBD coming out of Moss. They're going to be side by side coming up through the S's.
Oh, that was the 17 of Delator who just nailed the wall in White's corner. He's going to lose a lot of positions out of that from 2nd back to, I don't even know. This looks like it might be 5th. He's going to give a shot to the 26. Maybe a little bit of anger right there. But Delator with a horrible mistake there in White's corner. It's going to be till the next pit stop till he can get that damage figured out. Now down into turn 2. He's still on the back bumper of the 26. It looks like there's a battle between Jason Cole and the 00 of MBD.
Trying to get there, yep. And that was a pretty... Just lost the car, looks like, as that's going to really hurt his playoff. As MBD through the grass, Jason Cole doesn't really get on the brakes as late as MBD is able to. He's going to still try to get under him. He's not able to do it. MBD's clears him.
Yeah, Jason Cole is going to continue to fight it, try and take away this 4th place position actually from MBD, and honestly, Jason Cole is putting up a pretty nice fight, and it's pretty surprising for him. I mean, we've talked about him a lot in most of the Truck Series broadcasts. We've always mentioned his name and how he's always been a constant top 5 threat. He just has yet to go out and get that win this season.
We've talked about this 8 truck before in podcasts and elsewhere, just in the chat in our power rankings, and we said that if that 8 truck got some track position, he would be up there. Well, right now, he's running 5th, looking for 4th on the outside of the 00 of MBD. MBD drives in a little bit too deep, crossover from Jason. Now on the left side, can Jason do anything with it? Looks like he's just going to file in for the time being.
Yeah, that was going to be an important spot for MBD. He needs every point he can. But on the other, just up a road, Ghostkilla has caught up to Shake and Bake. This is going to be a fight for the win, a dog fight for the next however many laps there are in this race.
I believe the leaders are going to come up to 16 to go as Ghost Killer finds himself within, a few truck lengths of Shake and Bake as they go down the, well, I guess it's sort of a backstretch, coming up to the S's. And honestly, I mean, they've pulled away from third place of GU, I believe. And they've done a pretty nice job of actually doing so and proving themselves to be the best trucks. I mean, the only thing that really sucks is we don't see a Toyota of really anybody up front in the top 5 at all.
Yeah, it is a Chevy versus Ford heavyweight battle up here. Shake and Bake still riding that momentum from Talladega. And, I mean, right there, had a really good turn 1. Ghost Killer not so much. Ghost Killer, a regular season champion, he doesn't really need this win. He would love to win this one. I've talked to him before. He really wants this win. But the two of Shake and Bake, it feels like this would be a massive win for everyone in the GMS camp.
Yeah, it would be for sure a huge win for Shake. Ghost would probably like it just to add to his total and to just lock himself into the next round of the playoff. We'll just watch Ghost and see if he's better than Shake in any specific areas as he goes away. Shake!
Yep. Oh, Shake and Bake gonna have another one of his costly mistakes, which is gonna hurt him a lot. Gonna allow MBD to get up alongside him as Ghost Killer finds himself with about a 2.5 second lead over NBD and Shake and Bake. NBD managing to pull himself up into second, getting past Shake and Bake fairly easily on the backstretch, coming up into the S's. Ghost Killer is going to continue to hold on to a strong lead. NBD holding on to second, Shake and Bake third, TGS fourth, Jason Cole fifth, 15 to go.
Shake and Bake driving it so hard, and it's just costing him, it seems like. We've seen him in stage 2. He was able to drive back to the front from really far back after 2 mistakes. He made 1 mistake that time, didn't lose nearly as much time, but Ghost Killer is a much harder adversary to go against, much faster. Can he get back to that 98? Because there might be a playoff spot on the line if he can't.
Yeah, you can see Shake is make these mistakes, but we know he can recover. All it takes is just Ghost to go a little bit wide and lost, and he could be within a second of him. But I think Ghost is going to make that. He's very good with in terms of making mistakes and not making them. I don't know, but
yeah, definitely Ghost Killer's proved himself to be pretty good being consistent. I mean, his only real hiccup was the second or third race of the season at Auto Club when we saw him spin out with just under a couple laps to go, and it costed him the win. But here today at Canadian Tire, he's proven himself to be fairly consistent as Shake and Bake tries to put up a fight for second place on MBD, allowing his teammate... Actually, they're going to come down to pit again.
Oh, I don't know if the 00 made it. He was really cooking down there. He went 51. That's going to be a pit road penalty for MBD. Huge mistake, and you have to be wondering, the guys that followed him, did they get a penalty? Delator and all of them. TGS Predators. They followed him down at the same speed. I can't imagine they got down pit road either, so this might be a huge, huge moment in this race. This 98 might be out a very far ways ahead of the rest of the field, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be
98 is out. Look at TGS. Still sitting there. He sped. The 2 and the 8 did not speed, I don't think. They get out. So, big moment. Jason Cole able to get it woed down. He's going to move from 5th to 3rd out of all of that. And now Jason Cole, he has a chance at getting second, maybe even getting his first win in the Hennessy Performance Racing League Truck Series Season 3.
Something important to note is that they have 14 laps to go in the race, and they have exactly 7 laps of fuel. Probably 6.5 laps of fuel from what I see in this game. We might need to see a little bit of saving from these trucks. Probably see them running in 4th gear for a lap or 2 before they push it all out.
Definitely. I do believe we're going to see a lot of saving. They have 14 laps to go. Leader coming up on 13. But only 7 laps of fuel in that tank. And you got to wonder who's going to push the hardest. And out of those people, who's going to push too hard and actually end up tipping the scales and going to run out of fuel. and possibly lose a lot of spots. I mean, it's going to hurt your race, but I think if you're Ghost Killer, you just save right now. Let Shake and Bake make up a little bit of time and just hope you can save enough fuel. I mean, probably even save a whole nother lap and try and stay out a little bit longer than all of them.
Yeah, I've watched some of the best, Max Boost, a lot of guys in Gnarl, how they do it at the road courses. You might think that you're gaining if you're the 2, but that's because the 98 is baiting you in. He is saving that fuel, trying to save just a lap. I mean, just one lap of saving fuel, and he'll be able to make it all the way. And if that 2 can't, that's even more of a win for the 98.
And going back to the speeding penalties, these are costly playoff spots for MBT. In this turn, this part of the round, every point matters. It's going to matter a lot here. He's going to go from a potential 2nd or 3rd spot to being in 7th place now. So, big implications there.
Yeah, definitely. That mistake coming into pit road is going to cost him really his entire race. I mean, he was doing pretty solid throughout both the stages. I believe he was top 5 coming to the line both times. Or actually, no, not in stage 2 because that incident. But yeah, I mean, MBD's kind of thrown away his entire race just off that one little mistake in the pits.
Yep, no cautions here at the road courses. I don't even think manuals, correct?
Only emergency.
There's just no caution. Only emergency cautions.
Like 5, 6 plus cars.
Yeah, okay. Well, for the last 2 laps, it was actually the 23 leading, but right there it's going to be Ghost Killer taking the lead, coming past the start-finish line, past GU. So Ghost Killer back out to the lead. 2nd place is going to be the 2 of Shake and Bake.
Shake and Bake. He goes a bit wide. There, that might... no one's behind him, so it's not going to cost him any positions, but it will cost him valuable time at just back on the saving topic. That will allow Ghost to save a little bit more, let Shake creep in a little bit, and then he can just go and save an extra lap, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to cost Shake and Bake a lot of time, and not only that, but it's going to give Ghost Killer even more time to play with and a lot more time to potentially try and save a lap of fuel. And I feel like Ghost Killer is going to use it. He is definitely not pushing 100% right now, and I'm not sure exactly how his race looks as we're currently focused on Shake and Bake and Jason Cole right now, but I'm sure Ghost Killer is taking these turns nice and easy, trying to make sure he saves his tires and fuel.
Yeah, Captain, right now I'm on board with that 98, and it does seem like he's short shifting. I can hear it in his truck. He is 2nd, now 3rd, and you can hear the revs go really far down there. The RPMs go down. In turn 2, he put it in 2nd, now in 3rd, and he's going to keep it in 3rd, not put it in 4th. So he might, I mean, he's probably been saving for the last 3 laps. I can't imagine he needs to do much more.
Yeah, and at this point, if you're Shake and Bake, you really need to make the most out of the pit stop here. You've got to be perfect on entry, and if you're Ghost Killer, you need to be semi-perfect. Can't speed, but you don't want to lose so much time that Shake and Bake's able to close in 2 or 3 seconds. The Shake is starting closing the gap, maybe not saving as much.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you just want to try and be careful at road courses. NASCAR Heat 5 is pretty notorious. If you shift down into 1st or 2nd, your car cannot handle that amount of acceleration, and you will end up spinning yourself out fairly easily. And I mean, even earlier, as we saw both NBD and TGS, who now find themselves fighting for 5th place, TGS in 4th actually, NBD in 6th. So, I mean, hopefully they can make up from their mistakes.
Trying to cycle back to the leader, Ghost Killer. He is now entering turn 2. You can see Shake and Bake back there, just entering turn 1. So about 30 car lengths between the 2. It is closing in. You have to believe that 2 is driving it in really hard. He does have to make up some time. He can't just be saving this entire time. He doesn't have the luxury right now.
Oh, and he's going to lose a little bit more time there, going a little bit wide. That's what's really costing him so much. And it's pretty much what he's going to have to take from this race, as he's made so many mistakes that have cost him so much time. And he's been like Ghost in terms of the mistakes. I you'd have to believe he would have a huge gap right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna hurt Shake and Bake a lot with all of these mistakes coming in such a short time. He didn't make really a single mistake in that first stage, but ever since stage 2, he's been a mistake machine, and it's really hurting his race. I mean, not only is it allowing Ghostkiller more room that he can save and take his time taking these turns on, but it's also going to really hurt Shake and Bake's chances coming up into pits where he can make the most time.
Now, I'll tell you what's happening. He's making up time on that 98. He's closing in that gap more and more, still making micro mistakes, not enough to cost him any time, but it's definitely not allowing him to gain any time. But that too, I mean, I'm a little worried about him. He's catching that 98, but at what cost? Is he going to be able to make it on one stop here to the end?
Yeah, he's probably going to need to save a little bit more on that second stint, but not really just going to start level with the first top 2, but Jason Cole right now battling with TGS for the third spot is going down to Moss Corner. TGS is pretty close this time, maybe going to try to lunge it in. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. He's pretty early on the brakes there. See if he can get any type of run down the end road straightaway.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Cole again putting up a pretty good fight for third place right now. And it actually does look like MBD coming up through Moss is right there on the tail of Ty Racing in the 3 truck. Ghostkiller is still leading right now. Shake and Bake still in second. Definitely still making up time as we see Ghostkiller plow through the grass just a little bit. But Ghostkiller is going to hold on to lead, and you can only imagine how much fuel these guys have as they come with 8 to go, I believe.
And let's just give a shout out to that 00. I mean, coming out of the pit road, he was 10th place. Right now, he has made it all the way back up to 6th, pressuring the 3 of Ty Racing for 5th. That is an extraordinary comeback. And one guy we haven't really seen much of was really, I mean, he was up there for stage 1, stage 2, is Dalator. I don't know what happened to the 17 to where he lost all the time, but he is nowhere to be found at the top of the lead pack.
Yeah, Dalator, I think he's spun early in stage 3. He got a lot of damage, I'd assume, and he's had to repair it. He's behind AK. Not really the stage he wants to watch back on, but it's going to be important to realize that when there is no cautions to help you out, that making no mistakes is very important, and that's what he's probably learning here today.
Yeah, definitely. Dalator has pretty much disappeared off the face of this track. He is nowhere to really be seen, and honestly, I'm surprised they haven't put out a Amber Alert for him just yet. I mean,
here come the leaders. Yep, leaders to pit road, 98-2. It's the money stop.
This is 7 to go, so they're going to need to save probably just a little bit.
Yeah, this is actually pretty incredible what the 2 did. He's going to be able to come down at the same time as the 98. The 98 wasn't able to do an extra lap, so this kind of equals it out. Whatever the 2 was able to gain, that should be what he gets coming back out, depending on what his pit crew is able to do for him here. He has that, looks like the second pit stall after winning the pole. So we'll keep our eyes on Shake and Bake here. Right now, there's the 98. Where's the 2? It's going to be a little bit of a game for the 98, but this is exactly what the 2 wanted to see. He's going to be able to go all out, I think, and go chase down this 98 of Ghostkiller for a guaranteed spot into round 2 of the Truck Series Season 3 playoffs. Shake and Bake still has a shot, Tiger.
Oh, I mean, there was a little bit of a slow entry for Shake and Bake there. Maybe he lost a little bit of time. I think it could have been a little bit better, but now these 2 lap cars of GU and Dalator need to get out of the way. Dalator does it well. I think that's GU right up the road. It won't have to save fuel as Dalator kind of goes in a bit deep. Luckily, no contact to the back of Shake and Bake.
Definitely, it does look like they're going to be able to... Hold up. It does look like Shake and Bake's going to get around Dalator fairly easily, but it does not look like he's going to have the same amount of luck as he did with GU, who is finding himself way ahead, or not way ahead, but like 8-10 truck lengths ahead of Shake and Bake. coming up through the S's. Ghost Killer still holding on to the lead. Shake and Bake holding on to second as Dalator comes down to pit.
That 2 is pressing really hard right now, and we've already seen a couple times today that pressing hard causes mistakes. The 2 was really good when he was out front and able to dictate the pace of stage 1, but stage 2 made a couple mistakes after not being in the lead, and stage 3 had a few as well. So we'll have to see if he's learned from them, if he's going to keep it calm, or if he's going to be all out here trying to catch the 98 of Ghost Killer.
If you're in Ghost Killer's position, you really don't know what to do. You want to push hard and not make mistakes. Or you want to push hard, but that's going to give you a greater chance of making mistakes. But at the same time, you don't want to push because it'll give you a greater chance of not making mistakes. So it's a hard position for Ghost, but at this point, you just have to push hard.
I mean, I think if you're Ghost Killer, you try and just focus on being consistent right now. We've seen Shake and Bake make a lot of mistakes these last 2 stages, and it's honestly hurt him a lot, and Ghost Killer still has a pretty big lead to play around with as Shake and Bake finds himself well around the 23 truck of GU. Coming into the S's, Ghost Killer is still going to hold on to lead, probably 20, maybe 30 truck lengths, and I believe that is 5 to go this time out.
It is 5 to go, Captain, and the 2 is getting bigger in 98. 2 not saving as much. I'm watching MBD's stream back here. He definitely is saving. He just ticked over to 5 going through the S's, so he's good on fuel. But the question is that 2 good on fuel? I assume the 98 is, because he's giving up a bunch of time trying to save. The 2, on the other hand, has been full press. We've been on board him as well. He's been full press since the get-go.
Yeah, it is getting close and down to the wire here at Canadian Tire. Shake is really trying everything he can. He's not making too big of mistakes, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. As he makes a big mistake there, it's going to cost him a little bit of time.
Definitely Shake pushing himself too hard. Once again, going to find himself out in the grass just a little bit, losing even more time to Ghost Killer down the backstretch. I mean, honestly, that's probably going to cost him the race, that mistake that he just had right there. And not only that, but I'd be surprised if he even does have enough fuel with how hard he is pushing himself to try and catch Ghost Killer to even finish the race. We may even see him drop back to 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, we need to step back here because the 2 came in 2nd in points in the regular season. So right there, he was 6 points above everybody heading into up above the cutoff. So a good day today would still mean a lot to him. It would mean a lot to him going into Chicago. I guess the question is, for his strategy, are you going for a win right now, or are you going to try to give yourself a better position for Chicago just next week?
I think at this point you gotta just put yourself at a good spot. You don't want to run out of fuel, you just don't want to burn your tires out. I just don't think he's going to have enough time at this point. Even if he ran perfect lap times, it's going to be so hard to catch him. But you have to imagine, in a sense, he wants to win, and a win would be a lot better than a 2nd spot place.
Yeah, I mean, Shake and Bake's really just got to try and focus on saving a little bit of fuel and hopefully trying to make it to the end. A bad day here today could mean some bad things for him going into Chicagoland, as a lap truck of AK Unleaded, surprisingly, finds himself just in front of Shake and Bake.
Shake and Bake is still closing in. This is 3 to go, I imagine. And Shake and Bake is closing in still on that 88. But I'm listening to the engine now. He's definitely upshifting early. So he's still saving, but he's still catching the 88, or the 98, excuse me. He's still got a shot at this, and if he has enough fuel, he might be able just to get to him, as a big mistake from Ghost Killer going through Quebec corner.
Yeah, that's a big mistake. You cannot have much more of those if you're Ghost Killer. It's to go around into Moss corner, another potential for a big mistake there. Shake driving in a deep push right there. The Ghost goes a bit wide. Shake, he's gonna be there soon.
Ghost gonna find himself a little bit wide, like you just said, coming out of Mosh. Shake and Bake gonna find himself close. Probably 5, maybe even 6 car lengths. I doubt he's in the draft of Ghost Killer, but he has definitely closed the gap a lot. I mean, maybe he does have enough fuel to win this, but with how hard he's pushed just to catch up, or just to catch back up to Ghost Killer, I mean, he's gonna run close. We may even see him run out coming to the finish line.
Oh, Ghost was feeling the heat until Shake and Bake really got loose off of White's corner once again. 2 laps remaining, and Shake and Bake is there. He just needs one mistake from Ghost Killer, and Ghost Killer is not used to making those. At road courses, it's going to be incredible if Shake and Bake was able to make up all that time and save enough fuel. Shake and Bake really, really pressing right now to get around that 98 for a guaranteed spot in the second round of the Truck Series playoffs.
One mistake changes everything from these 2 trucks in general. I don't think third place is close enough back to where he's going to have a factor. Ghost goes a bit wide. If he's there, it's going to be a last lap dash.
Yep, Ghost Killer is going to go a little bit wide up through Mosh. Shake and Bake going to actually give a small tap to the bumper of Ghost. And, I mean, going up through the S's, we might see a pretty big move from from Shake and Bake on Ghost Killer. We might see Shake and Bake dive to Ghost Killer's inside, try and take over the lead of this race as they come up through the S's with 1 to go.
Going through turn 10 for the second to final time. They both get on the grass there. Could have gotten loose. White flag from Canadian Tire, and Shake and Bake is there. Down into turn 1. The 98 clips the apex perfectly, but the 2's going to have a better run off going down into turn 2. Down into Clayton's corner for the final time. The 2 of Shake and Bake's going to look to the outside. He's going to try to cross over to the 98 going down into Quebec corner for the final time at Canadian Tire.
He goes napping there. Ghost is going to have to make a huge move down to Moss, and if he's not able to do it there, he's going to have to put the bumper to it. Shake and Bake leads after making up a huge gap. Can Ghost do anything about it as they head down the entrance straight?
Yep, Ghost is going to find himself back in second place. Shake and Bake finding himself back in a familiar position of first place right now, coming down the backstretch up towards the S's. Shake and Bake's going to actually pull away from Ghost Killer just a little bit, and it does not look like they have any lap traffic in front of them. We might see a pretty big move from Ghost Killer coming up into the S's. Ghost Killer, nothing out of him. Kind of surprising. He might make one last final attempt. He is going to try and dive it up the inside of Shake and Bake, but it does look like Shake and Bake is going to take the win. Ghost Killer coming in second. AK unleaded, a lapped car.
Wow. I didn't think he had it in him. Shake and Bake just locked himself in to the second round of the Truck Series Season 3 playoffs with that win at Canadian Tire, and not many people saw it coming. I'm sure GMS saw it coming, though.
I mean, it's huge for Shake, but Ghost shouldn't be down on himself. He still got that huge gap that only built today. I have to imagine there's no way anyone is going to beat him. But today just established Shake as possibly another guy who could contend for the title. I think everyone knew that, but today he goes out there and establishes that statement.
Yep. Shake wins the race. Ghost gets second. Third went to TGS Predators. Fourth went to Jason Cole. Great run for him. And fifth went to MBD. You got dropped off of a great comeback. We saw a couple great comebacks through the field. I think the one that's going to have to be talked about the most, though, is Shake and Bake's. Stage 2, it didn't look very good. Stage 3, he went from, I think he was 3 seconds back from Ghost Killer, and he just put on a show, saving enough fuel even to get back to that 98 and win this race. Incredible stuff from Shake and Bake. So I'm going to also get him here in the party.
Yep, I'm trying to get them in, but yeah, definitely pretty amazing stuff from Shake and Bake. Going to find himself locked into the playoffs, or the second round of the playoffs, going into Chicagoland. And honestly, what are you guys thinking of for favorites for Chicagoland?
You go ahead, Tiger.
I don't know. I don't even know how many guys are in Truck Series. You know, I was watching Truck Series race, but let me look at the playoff.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to go with GU. I think GU is really, really talented on the 1.5 milers, and I think that GMS will be looking at 3 in a row at Chicagoland next week. And it's also going to throw a little bit of a wrench in the ideas of all of the playoff guys, because GU, again, not in the playoffs. So we'll have to see who's able to, be able to lock themselves in. It's only 2 races in each round.
Yep, and I mean, I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see GU winning at Chicagoland, which would definitely be a huge spoiler, as we're joined by race winner Shake and Bake, looking very rough out through the second stage, and then not only in the third stage as well, managing to pull himself up in front of Ghost, getting the win. I mean, things look pretty sketchy for you for a while, making a lot of mistakes, but how'd you overcome that?
Yeah, man, I just had to concentrate, run some solid laps, and let the wheels get going and not spin out.
Definitely pretty good. I mean, you put on a pretty big show for really everyone up here with your last lap pass on Ghostkilla through, I believe it was Quebec Corner. I could be wrong, though. And Jim?
I think 4.
4? Yeah, Jim.
4.
Questions for the race winner?
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely. Shake, first of all, I want to say congrats on punching your ticket into round 2 of the Truck Series playoffs. That is big. And, I mean, we were talking about momentum and controlled chaos. You definitely have it. I mean, 2 wins in a row at 2 very diverse racetracks. How does this go for confidence and momentum heading into the round with Homestead and Bristol?
Can one of you
It goes a long way, actually. Especially with points being locked in, like you said. But Bristol is not a very good track, so we'll get past that, and then we'll be on to, I think, what is that, Homestead?
Chicagoland.
Chicagoland?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, well, Chicagoland, he doesn't have to worry about Chicagoland. He's already punched his ticket in round 3. So it's Homestead and then Bristol, and then if you can make it through there, you'll get to Vegas.
Yep. Yeah, Bristol will be a fun one, that's for sure. You're going to want
I'm sure
to make up a lot of points in Homestead.
I'm sure Bristol will definitely be interesting, as I believe both Jim and I, again, will be calling Bristol. But, again, congratulations, Shake and Bake, on your race win. Hopefully we can get joined by Ghostkilla very shortly. Again, congratulations on the race win today.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely pretty surprising there, coming up towards the end. I mean, we all really thought that Ghostkilla was going to be the one to actually beat over Shake and Bake, but he just barely came up short. We're joined by second place finisher, very sadly, Ghostkilla. I mean, you look to be the one to win the race for a moment, but what happened on your last lap?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was just the last lap. I think Shake had shown early in stage 1. Like, if you looked at stage 1, that was kind of like my practice. I didn't do any practice laps for this, so I just kind of used stage 1 and try to remember the track. And I mean, stage 2 we had some speed, and then stage 3, a couple guys made mistakes, and we were just behind Shake there. And then he made that mistake off the hairpin, and I was just trying to hold it together. But I mean, I was running probably the cleanest laps I ran all night. I mean, I was ripping off 1:19.4s consistently, but I mean, I looked at the fastest lap and Shake ran a 1:18.9 on either the second to last lap or the last lap, so hard to really defend against that when you got a guy who's going half a second faster than you when you're half a second faster than the rest of the field. So I mean, it was a great battle. I mean, it was probably a great broadcast for you guys. I think me and Shake battled almost the entirety of stage 3, so
Definitely, it was pretty interesting for us up here in the booth to actually call that battle between you and Shake and Bake. Glad to hear you're kind of humbled by what Shake and Bake managed to pull off, and not, pulling excuses left and right out of your ass. So, good on you, actually. Big Jim, do you have any questions?
Not many questions, but I will say that today was a good points day for you. It's going to help you continue with you. I mean, you started out with a 29-point lead over the cut line. That's only going to grow after tonight. So for Chicagoland, do you get a little worried for your teammate in Mayhem after he misses Canadian Tire?
I think, yeah, I wanted to win Chicagoland. That was like one of my main goals at the beginning of the season, but now it kind of switches focus a little bit there since we have a teammate, and we obviously we have to get AHAC points as well because he scored pretty well in the stages and got a good finish, but all the guys in front of him were playoff guys, so it's going to be pretty difficult. I think we got to definitely get Mayhem the win. He missed the race, so he's going to be in a must win, but I think just because of my points buffer, I'd say in the race tonight also kind of contributed to. I didn't want to just wreck Shake because I didn't really need to, and I don't really want to have any enemies going into the round of I believe it's 7. So I just think Chicago, the mindset's just try to help our teammates since I'm going to be pretty much good to go after stage 2. So I think just help Mayhem get the win if we can, and then just try to get AHAC stage points.
Yeah, running respectful is definitely going to win some favor with some guys, and you don't want any enemies going into Vegas or anywhere down the road in the playoffs. So again, congrats on second.
Thank you.
You really don't want to, as I believe we do not have any more questions. And once again, Shake and Bake, congratulations on the win, and again, congratulations to Ghost Killer for further extending his lead. Be sure to catch us tomorrow for both the Xfinity and Cup Series, as for some reason AHAC is wanting us to interview Skywalker. I'm not sure what he did other than hold up the field for a good moment. But
I think I know why.
Can we get a bit of a reason why, Jim?
I think it really was the holding up thing. So yeah, we're not going to talk.
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't interview that. But
yeah,
anyway,
I think we're good.
Be sure to catch us tomorrow for both the Xfinity and Cup Series. Going to, I kind of forgot, Talladega. No. Daytona. I just find it kind of weird that the Truck Series has their closer at Talladega and Cup and Xfinity at Daytona, but whatever. Be sure to catch us tomorrow for Xfinity and Cup at Daytona. And, I mean, honestly, that's the playoff for the cutoff for both their races. So, yes, again, be sure to catch us tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow.